Behind me is Wicked Skies. And then this showed up. I just got notified that I'm live. I wish I had a better camera. So big in person. Zoom out so you guys could see the cloud coverage. I took some video and pictures. This is nothing, the red. Look at all these different shapes. I keep seeing a flashing light. Most likely it's a plane. To the left, 9 o'clock position of the moon. Trying to make it clearer for you guys. It's about to disappear, I think. 111 right now. That's my number, folks. I see that number so many times during the day. Look at, I'm hoping I could catch the moon because I have a short video, like 10-second clip when I first saw it. There are clouds that appear to be in front and clouds that appear to be in the rear. Now we're just getting kind of mixed up. Look, dead center of the screen. Looks like a 3D object. Doesn't it? I was just about to give you a shout out and you're in the chat. Mickey 111. Wait until I'll post the pictures afterwards, of course. But I just wanted to see if I was able to capture the moon. Again, it's very low on the horizon, very large with clouds behind it and in front. Pretty crazy looking, like wicked looking. Then we got this dark fella. A couple more weeks, folks. If you're in the US of A, it's going to be dark at 5 o'clock. Look at that, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Like, what type of cloud is that? I'm sorry, Miss Q. Did you see the post from the Fifth World I posted? I did not. And it's good that you brought that up. Whenever I make a video, obviously there's comments and I respond. But obviously, folks, I can't respond to every single comment. So like I said before, I do not mention any names, but a subscriber of mine took that the wrong way, and hopefully you guys know. I think I got kicked off, meaning connection wise. I don't know if I'm live. Buffering. All right, guys. The intent of this video was just to look at that. I thought it was totally gone. Even this, that looks very, very natural. Straight as a ruler. Again, poor quality, guys. I'm on the phone. Someday, P900. So what I was saying, just real quick, obviously, if somebody leaves a comment, I just don't want anyone, again, one of my subscribers seemed upset that I did not respond to a certain question. I will answer any question that anybody has for me. So, that's all. How about that straight line? Pretty normal. There's about 20 different colors in the heavens right now. Just when you think you have seen the most reddest sky, obviously it was on my way over here prior to sunset. But I will put that picture in the community tab in a couple minutes once I get this live stream done. Miss Q says back. The light is all wrong. And again, you guys know how cameras are, right? You just pictures, video, they don't do justice. They really don't. But if you just popped in, the intent of this short live video was huge moon very low on the horizon. I was able to capture it, but as you can see, guys, there's what do they call this? Geoengineering? SAIs? To protect us from the sun. Look how bright it is here. Look at a couple comments. Lynn McGrath, how are you? Hope everyone had a great Saturday. Good morning, good evening, and good night. What quote is that from? Good morning, good evening. Oh, The Truman Show, the movie. Once he became awake. I love that ending. What do we have here? Just a normal white cloud. Oh, come on, zoom in. In person, it looks like a, I'm not calling it a UFO, but it looks like a cigar cloud. Two cigar clouds, just, hanging out. Nothing to see here. And the moon is gone. Look at this perfect straight line, guys. Sorry. Look at this line. I know it's fuzzy. It's as straight as a ruler. How about these straight lines? They're not as straight as have seen. Darlene, how are you? I don't know if you just popped in, Darlene, but I had a little message in the beginning of this video. If somebody left me a comment, and that if I did not or allegedly I responded, and then the same person said something else, and then I did not reply allegedly to the question. So I don't want anyone being upset. I have super thick skin. And again, not to toot my own horn, but I respect everybody's opinion. I could do obviously this channel is a mixture of things, so I could be doing a video on something that you might disagree with me 100%. And then the next video, you might be agree with most of the video. Darlene says, I replied to the question you asked me. Yeah, and the thing, Darlene, which I left him a message as well. Well, you're my only mod. And not only mod, you've been here for almost day one. But I don't want to get into my personal life, but last week my father dropped off my high school dog. So not only do I have Cody, who has a disease, I have a dog who is, you could probably say, almost on hospice, and it's just me. And then of course, sometimes I'm up nights researching, so it's not that I'm ignoring anybody. Read a couple comments and then I'll let you guys go. Yeah, I'm in the middle of uploading a video. Open-minded here. Speaking of Miss Q, so weird. I logged into CNN a couple days ago, and apparently they were having another town hall, and this is like again, second or third one so far. And just as I tune in, it was, I don't even know her name, to be honest with you. That's how low she is on the Democrat side. She's a woman. I don't even know her name. But anyway, she was on stage, and it was a Q&A session. And I'm not being disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be funny. The person behind the mic asking the question, I had no idea if it was a boy or a girl. Seriously, if I had to bet on it, no idea. And it just so happened that her question was about pronouns. If this woman, again, I don't even know her name, that's how low she is on the polls. I should know her name. As soon as in 2 seconds when I leave this chat room, it'll pop in my head. But anyway, it was a pronoun question. So if you become president, would you except this whole this whole PC shit, guys. You know, sometimes it might be funny, but it's ruining. It is ruining. It is. I'll say it third time. It's ruining this country. As you guys know, I'm 50% white, right? I don't care if I was 100% white or 100% minority. Comedians, I was in high school during Dave Chappelle. I mean, we could talk about older comedians, you know, George Carlin, and so on. But Dave Chappelle is absolutely amazing. And that's why he was so successful. To make a long story short, we live in such a PC world. I think he's on Netflix now, but a couple weeks ago, he said a joke. I'm trying to give you guys a good view. I say something. He said a joke, and then the audience replied as if he was referring to Trump. And he said no. He reversed it and said he was speaking about the audience. And Rotten Tomatoes, you got, again, this isn't new news. It's not like I just learned this, but this whole PC world that we live in, but it backfired on them. It backfired because he had the highest rating that you could get. It was like a 99.9 for his review. And I think pretty much, obviously, if you're subscribed to my channel, you don't go by, again, anybody's welcome here, but I'm not going to call anybody I'm not going to use a pronoun. In New York City, this is the law now, guys. It's getting out of control. This is what I'm talking about. Not just ruining comedy because they can't be funny. Can't say, take their gloves off. That's what comedy's all about. Being offensive, but in a funny manner. And all these apologies, believe it or not, at that town hall, CNN, he had to apologize. Because as soon as the candidate was finished speaking, giving her pronoun, he said, yeah, that's the same one that I would have. That's all he said. And then the next day, top story. Sorry, guys. I'm in the woods with, I got 2 dogs with me. I don't want them getting sprayed by these skunks. They're about 20-pound skunks. All right, I'll read a couple comments, and then I don't want to waste, I don't want to waste anybody's time because I am editing a video as I was actually walking. What's going down, Doc? I'm sorry, just looking at comments now. Thank you, Darlene. I'm assuming that's your, is that for me? Well, speaking about Bob, what Bob just said, first thing this morning, I'm talking about the very first thing I did. I wanted to check the status of course, California. And, I was just going through, flipping, going, I don't know any channels out, really out there. But anyway, I was just going through all this news stations out there, like local ones. Guess what Google wants to do? Again, I can't make this stuff up. I'm going to post it. Google has a super large plan that they have the blueprints set up for, right where the fires are. It's 6, don't quote me on it, because I believe, but I'm about 90% sure. I believe it's 6.5 million acres. It includes 2 hotels, apartment complexes, a rail system. Again, I cannot make this up. In the location where the fires are. That, I don't know if anybody else heard about that. Let's go over here, guys. Is this a Venezuela cow? I wanted to hear from you guys, because obviously there's a lot going on, just like what Bob and Darlene are speaking about. I wanted to first start off with the facts, and then obviously go with you guys as far as any information. Again, it could be any act. When I say information, meaning any strange activity. Just remember, guys, remember what predictive programming is, right? In movies, I'm not a movie guy, but I think it's World War Z, I believe. It was partially filmed in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia was attacked in this movie. It may be that, it may not be, but obviously, guys, the DS, they're just like how the White Hats have multiple plans. Again, guys, I'm a patriot. I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm here for you guys, obviously. I'm here for you guys, 100%. I know we spoke about this a little bit last night, but the amount of alleged, we don't even know how many illegal aliens are in the country. Like I said, I said this last night. If you would look it up, just like how many people perished, how many people died in paradise. If you go online, you can't get it. They give you a very low number, and then it'll say a few people are still missing. Why are they suppressing the number? So, make a long story short, just like how we have contingency plans, the Black Hats obviously have contingency plans. So, yes, we are in a coup. Yes, we are in a war. But not your typical full... look at that, guys. 10 minutes. Went from black to unbelievable. Bob Burger. Got a report, train cars just sitting, gonna check out. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Especially people who do live near. I mean, even if you do live near a base and you typically hear activity. Here she comes. I just want to give you guys something decent to look at. Take pictures. Take pictures. And even if you don't have a channel, you could send it to me. And obviously, I never mention any name. But that's why they're behind, guys. That's why they're behind. I said this numerous times. 2012, allegedly, from obviously lots of research, that was supposed to be a huge year for them. But why do you think they're censoring us? So I'm going to say the T word, or I'll say 45. Yes, I support 45. He's not going to save me. He's not going to save you. My opinion, obviously, he's a white hat, or else I wouldn't have be supporting him. And in reality, folks, why do you think it's WW3 every single day? And it's unprecedented. Even some people who I know who they're not left or right, but they say Trump's not an angel. I don't know. I can't name an angel that's on earth as a human. I just had to say that so certain people understand. As far as my support, 100%, guys. But policy-wise, obviously, that's not 100%. But he's one guy. If he went in without any alliance, he even said this. I think this was 2 years ago. I think he asked. I know it was like top story of the news, due to the fact that, again, he was aware from day one that it was hacked when he got approached by the certain Marines and a couple individuals in the intel community. So when obviously he needed to, fill some positions, he asked pretty much, are you faithful? Meaning, are you faithful for the country? And then the news, obviously, they spun it. Not to sound negative, because I'm total opposite, folks. I know how bad it is, and obviously you guys do too. But that being said, never surrender, never quit, right? So just say, Trump is temporary. Trump is temporary. Again, guys, this is how fast things are going. That when I say scary, meaning it's scary how fast it's going. If you took all of what Creepy Joe and Obama, they're talking, or they're not their talking points, but everything that obviously before, if you're running, whatever the question is, they just want to gain support. So they're like, yeah, I'll give every single American $1 million. Yes, I'll make college for free. Yes, I will give you a gas card. Yes, I will pay off your house. They say, again, I'm not just talking about the left. I'm saying the left and the right. But the very concerning part about the left is they're self-admitted socialists, guys. Again, I'm not left, I'm not right. The U.S. Constitution, that's my book. That's what I go by. The U.S. Constitution. I don't care who you are, even if you are 45, and you want to stomp on my Constitution. That's a huge issue with me. I just found out also this morning At last night's rally, 39 hours. 39 hours, people waited in line. 39 hours. So, I just wanted to make that clear where I stand. And that being said, I have family members who are so far left. Shout out to my step-grandmother. She's very far left. You know, I can't. You can't say the T word in front of her. But that's the thing about me, guys. I respect anybody's opinion. That doesn't mean that, you know, that I won't talk to her. But that's how they act. I'm being serious. Over politics. Family members, stop talking over politics. That's an awesome picture, Stephanie. Bob Ross. It looks like a Bob Ross guy right now. I'm sorry. When I was talking, I wasn't looking at the comments. Remember me this: if Trump is being ousted, why would he send more and more troops out of the country instead of bringing them home? Is that question for me, Darlene, or somebody else in the chat room? And anyone could look this up, right? Anyone could look this up. This isn't secret information, obviously. It doesn't matter who the presidency is, guys. You always hear in the headlines, you know, that some criminal had intent, had very bad intent, right? A couple of people, numerous people. It happens with every president. But the alarming part is, if you had somebody, oh my God, a huge orb just flew above my head. But anyway, he's aware, obviously, right? So what I'm getting at is, it's not just a you know, your everyday Joe on the street. So if that individual has bad intent, I'm speaking in Hollywood movie terms. Like if this was a fiction Hollywood movie, right? Just say we were infiltrated, including with the CIA director and all the information that he was privy to. Again, this is just a Hollywood script. How about Pelosi? If she was in the movie, her and the Chinese, Eric Holder. I never saw, Darlene, I never saw the type of security detail that he has. And obviously, you know, you might say, excuse me, you might say, no shit, Andrew. But when you see it in person, it's just like with anything. His detail is huge. Prophecy says Iran will go hit. This is my concern, Bob. I don't think I ever said this. Should I say this? Do I want to say this? This is something just like how the NWO, right? The NWO, they were saying, you know, Daddy Bush. So, a few people that I know who I'm friends with, who are not open-minded, you know, they said they would have done the new NWO already. You know, what's taken so long? Meanwhile, guys, they have their blinders on. But I respect that because I was a sheep. Excuse me. I was never a sheep. I was asleep. And that's why I'm so open-minded. And that's why I make videos. Right now, you're staring at the sky as I preach. But when I do videos, I like showing evidence or telling you where you could go and look for yourself. It's just for information. I'm not here to persuade anybody. Again, just for just want how I learned stuff off of you folks. So I'm here for information. And again, anybody, gay, straight, LBTQPR. I butchered that one, but on a serious note, guys, yes, I do see Iran being the next. I mean, just look what's been. How many attempts over the past couple months with the tankers, with the drones. What the hell would Iran have? Don't get me wrong now. I'm not talking about the country, just like how a lot of people, certain people are very upset with America, and that makes them unpatriotic. You know, they say America is XYZ. America is not XYZ. It's the deep state. It's the shadow government. Anybody listening to this right now or watching the moon, anyone, seriously, I would defend any single person in this chat room in real life. Anybody. But there's something called government, and trust me, I'm not anti-government. I want small, you know, the smaller the better. But the Iranians, guys, they just want to be, people just want to be left the F alone. Again, I'm an American, but look at Hong Kong. Seriously. And it's not just one group. It's not just one age. There are people in I actually saw people in wheelchairs. They're holding American flags. Again, this is, their life depends on it. I believe I read yesterday 150 minors were arrested. 150. So, again, guys, we're not talking about a presidency. We're talking about a, you know, this is life-changing for them, just like how it is for us. Meaning, as far as rights go, our Constitution. America, obviously, or the you know, they're not so public with it, like obviously China. Like I always say, we have a constitution. It's been on fire for, I know, for many years, but for the most part, guys, that's why we're different than the rest of the world. Bob says, so even Turkey obeys God. That's a good, well, since you brought up Turkey, Bob. Turkey's the gloves are off for Turkey. He means business. He means business. There's going to be a lot of people. My phone's going to die. One sec. Sorry, guys. One sec. Miss Q, is possible a red spot? Just when you think about stuff, think of, you know, who benefits, right? Problem, reaction, solution with any event. So this whole scenario that's going on now, what do you guys think it is? And you don't have to reply if you don't want to. Like everything that's going on as far as allegedly UN trucks. Believe it or not, I did see UN trucks. Again, this is about a year ago. I even made a video on it from Virginia. But I'm talking currently what's going on with California. Again, my channel is to unite channels, and there's so many great channels out there. Dave Hodges, great guy. Never met him, but you know, Steve Quayle. So what do you guys think is going on? Because I've been, I just want to hear something. See if you guys say it. Lynn says most people don't know how to prepare, and you got to start with the basics, Lynn. Right? 2 cans of soup, $2. Next day, a couple things of water. But I brought this up in one video because bugging in versus bugging out, right? So that word prepare, you know, prepare for martial law, prepare for a evasion, prepare for, you know, I'm just saying this in Hollywood, as a fiction Hollywood movie, just to be clear. But there is a lot going on, but I just want to, you know, things are popping up all over the place. Like, I could tell you this. I'll bring up 45 again. His demeanor for the past week and a half, he's been, again, I'm going by his demeanor. He's very super positive, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, he's been extra happy lately. I'll put it that way. So I don't know. Take that. You know, what does that mean? I don't know. But over the past 2 weeks, even at the rallies, he used profanity a few times. He's like, "Where's Hunter?" You know. Then he starts looking around. He's like, you know, "Where is Hunter?" But that's another thing, folks. We have to watch as patriots. You know, you guys remember the whole missile, allegedly? A fisherman might have saw a missile out in the Pacific. I myself, I don't have any evidence, you know, but I'm just going by what was said from, I think it was like one individual or like 2 people, and then it, you know, everybody, you know, was aware of it. But, you know, Hawaii, you know, there's multiple islands. So guess who was on the most southern island? Hillary. And not just her some of her cronies. Now you might say, why? Why? You have to think. God forbid, people died. Or excuse me, not because of that event, but because of the false event. Oh, excuse me, I'm getting my things mixed up. It first started as a warning system went out. Remember, incoming. The coworker, he was tired and he was clocking out. This is the official narrative. This is what they told us. He was clocking out, guys. But I know this for a fact. In order for that type of message to go out, it takes two people. It's two separate keys. You could even have long arms, but the intent is so things like this don't happen. But the way they put it out there was he was just clocking out, and also, again, don't quote me. This was a long time ago, guys, and I research every night and every day. So I guess about a year ago this happened, approximately. A couple people had heart attacks, from panicking, because it wasn't like a 2-minute. I believe it lasted. This event lasted. Again, you guys are probably aware of this. I think it was like 30 to 45 minutes before they gave the it's just a false alarm. That makes it even more suspicious. Because if I'm whoever's in charge of that system, and just say, there's more than one person, why the hell did it take, just say a half hour, but I actually think it was 45 minutes. A half hour? Knowing that there may be incoming? Just had a great soup. The Country Boy Will Survive. Love that song. It's by Hank, but I like Aaron Lewis. I like his version better. Looking at comments. Darlene's a pit bull. And guys, I'm close to Delaware. It's a different FEMA zone, but I'm close to Delaware. So I love the next video after this on my other channel. I was uploading it's an aviation video. China just got some crazy new aircraft. It's a cigar aircraft. But again, I'm close to Delaware, so when I'm up at 03, 04, midnight, and I'm checking the radar, and I see, Cessnas, certain type of aircraft that on and off transponders, when it says private owner, yeah, Bob's not up there joyriding. I'll say that. Bob's not out there joyriding. Who's the general? Lynn, my grandson. I'm reading comments. My grandson, United States Air Force, same thing. What can he do? Pray. I have multiple relatives that are in right now. I just had I just had my cousin graduate from boot camp, and then I have lots of friends, but as far as family wise, um, you guys know what, like what a PMC is, and like private military contractors. Have you heard about them or aware? Back in the mid 2000s, probably heard of Blackwater because of being on the news. This is a fact that I heard months ago. Just like in the military, guys, if you want to be in the military, do you want to be 0311? Do you want to be motor T? Do you want to be a cook? There's options. So just like a PMC, if you want to be a private military contractor, there's different types of jobs, So some people call them mercenaries, but I'm talking about PMCs. Anyway, what I'm getting at is months ago, again, I don't like to do this because I like having evidence. So you could just take my word for it or just see what happens. Months ago, they did like an unprecedented thing, guys, and it wasn't for being abroad. It was for here in America, meaning they did a massive hiring and positioning, for home, not abroad. Actually, it just popped in my head. There's one other person, and guys, if Darlene, Bob, people who've been here for a long time, I've said that in a couple of my videos. There's one other person who I just heard said it yesterday, believe it or not. His name is Mike Adams. I don't know if if you guys ever heard of him. Mike Adams. He said this yesterday. He's a scientist. Mike, he's an awesome guy. He's a scientist, and he tests like, he'll just go to a grocery store and like he has his own lab, which is millions of dollars, and he'll just take stuff right off the shelf and then go test it and say, look, they didn't tell you about this, they didn't tell you about this. He does it with water. But anyway, he's he never served or anything, but he lives in Texas, and again, I don't know his sources, but whoever he is in contact with, very, very informative. But again, I heard this yesterday from Mike, so I'm not the only person who said it. So I'm sorry I can't show you evidence, but Mike Adams. Miss Q, no, Mike. Chains of command need to be broken. Subvision, families also recall sons and daughters from service. I know. I agree, brother. And it's weird because 10 years ago, I would have never thought like that. But part of being awake, it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, when you first find out how we were all being deceived, but when you realize that there are so many other people, i.e., my chat room, my subscribers, people who, my Patreons, people who support me, people who know my personal information, people who uh, know I could talk for 2 hours without it. Well, you guys might be seeing ads now because I was not planning on doing this. Even though they're off permanently, and I keep showing you that. There should not be any ads, guys. Sorry. Okay. And as far as the military goes, I'm going to say name because I like Dave. I'm a fan. I'm a subscriber of Dave. Again, Dave Hodges. A lot of people. It wasn't just him, but other people were asking, would the military take orders? Well, this came out. This happened under the Obozo admin. This is, a lot of people don't know this. Do you know how many generals that he fired? But that question alone is very alarming. Again, you have to put yourself in their shoes, And obviously, guys, even the good guys, the good people, the good people in the government, I guess, they have contingency plans for everything. Any possibility that you could think of, they have a plan for. But I told you guys, I think yesterday, in these events, like look at Katrina, on national television, in the suburbs, were there troops there? Yes. But I'm talking at this time, it was the local police. Again, the local television, they were there live, and they knocked on the door. Hey, any firearms, please? She opened the door, and yes, was it in her hand? Yes, but it wasn't. She wasn't holding it in a threatening manner. It was actually like upside down. Anyway, they roughed her up. They gave her black eyes and shit. And that's just one story. But that being said, being open-minded and having, obviously never did that, but having an experience, were police shot at? Yeah, but not in that part of the, not in that part, in the ghetto. So as far as the military part goes, guys, as far as being a civilian, you have nothing. This is my opinion now. You have nothing to worry about. Nothing. That doesn't mean that there's people out there who would do whatever, just like at any job, guys. It could be a corporate job, and your boss might tell you to do something, and it might not be is it ethical, is it moral? It goes with anything. But obviously when it comes to a firearm, that's a whole nother level. But will people just take orders? Absolutely, 100%. Will all of them take the same order? No. And the only reason who are these men who will go to war, awaken, have outgrown this dark phase? Well, a lot of military people are waking up. They are. Think about how you guys feel after you know, just after that September, that one event that changed the world, regardless, forget about if you had anybody or if anyone watching went to war because of that one event. Now you go there on a false narrative, right? Changes your life forever if you make it out. And then when you come home, now you're retired, and now you have time to research, and then you find out the official story, what happened that day. Guys, that excuse my language, that's fucked up. Seriously, that'll make a person go fucking nuts. Seriously. Have fun finding out we're one of many. We're minions. Marcus, I understand how I understand how you would feel about yourself saying I would never go into the military. But that being said, you understand why people join the military, right? There's no draft. Well, multiple reasons. You could break up with your girlfriend and join, be pissed off at your parents and join. But on the majority of the military, they do it because of being a patriot. Being a patriot. And again, guys, these are boys. These are 17, 18-year-old people. Times have changed. More and more people are awake now. That being said, we always need the military. But again, being open-minded, I completely understand. Again, I don't have any kids, but if I would inform my child, but I'm not going to stop my child from doing what they want. Excuse me. Yeah, they're my child for life, but my adult child. So, yes, I would. If I had a son who was about to go in, I would obviously inform him, but he would be a grown man at the age of 18. And again, if it's his passion, I'm not going to stop him. Who said that, Brian? How about all I don't care, first ambulance driver to a fire, here at home, I have so much respect for all of our first responders, so much respect for our hardworking patriot nurses, our military. That's a totally different entity. To dedicate, leaving your family. A lot of the time, you have, you get to miss your child being born. To top it off, and then go to, we are at war, to go to actual war. But I agree with coming with 100% with Trump and the Kurds. Yeah, I understand it. I know the Kurds. I know a lot about the Kurds, but they've been throwing sticks and stones since forever, right? And I know in my other video when I said, I think I posted, or in the tab I said, you know, I took a poll and I said, bring them home. They're all not out. There's still a base there, and not only that, but everything with Iran. The Secretary of Defense, I pray to God it doesn't happen, but I see that on the horizon, 100%. Iran, and this is what, going back to Bob. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm flip flopping. I want to Brian. So yeah, whoa. So you could do your 4 years, and you know, do, you know, see some crazy stuff, but these people who you know, who chose to do a profession, they train you to be a killer, kill, and then you're done. All right, sign here. All right. They should do more for the troops, 100%. I agree. They should do. I'll save that for a different video, Darlene, but I don't know. Well, you might know. You know a lot of stuff. China, how not only, again, the video that the video that I'm about to upload is about China, but it's a new toy that they just got. But China, they downsize their military, but for many years, yeah, they had the bodies, but President Xi, you know, now he wants quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. So again, they've always stole, you know, going from some, you know, that guy on fake Oakleys, you know, to fake Rolexes, to these are just regular people going to the government. They've been stealing our ideas forever. But now when you have somebody from, just say hypothetically, an insider who is willing to share information that might live in California, name starts with a P. What's up, Simon King? How are you? Hope you're doing well. No doubt, Darlene, LA. What did Darlene say? I think about this all the time too. Like, if 9/11 never happened, and we were never at war, like we're at war right this second, guys. It's a different, well, I guess war is war, right? Yes and no. Yes and no. You know, I guess if people are still dying, guys, that's, you know, and they're still dying. But I just think about how different it'll be. I'm no fan of Saddam. I'm no fan of Gaddafi. You know, Gaddafi's own security detail saved our men on 9/11, but in Benghazi a few years back. Chris Pronto. Yeah, they're evil people, guys. Like America thinks we could just go, every single country and you know, be democratic. Tradition since these people been around, guys. You have you have men that could climb mountains in flip flops. Legs look like a bodybuild, as strong as a freaking bodybuilder. You're wearing the best boots. Yeah, you have gear on, and you're struggling. They climb up these mountains like goats. That's leave them. Let them do them. Just Darlene says, "I love Jack Russells." I my second one. Darlene, are they yappy? Little yappers. Spiders and snakes. I mean Congress. Check, Bob. A lot of snakes. How about the biggest entity that their logo is a snake? NASA. Guys, people think NASA just has to do with like space and or aerospace. A lot of people have no idea how large NASA really is and how much they do military wise, or and that's why they get a $60 million a day budget. $60 million a day. We only have a space program. Like they couldn't even keep that to like I get they didn't have to, because the sheep, they don't ask questions. They don't care. You don't see anyone saying anything. They're they're making 60 million and we don't even have a space station, or we don't even have we have to rely on the Ruskies. Not only did their salary go up, but they took away, unbelievable, and people just take it. Never a straight answer. I wore my NASA shirt yesterday. So if you watch my video, liars with their logo. Sin said space is fake. Hey, I've never been there. So I'm open-minded. Obviously, I have a little bit of a different opinion than you, but I'm not going to say you're crazy, because I've never been to space and I don't know anybody who has. That being said, guys, did you see that picture? Did you see that picture that I posted? I have a Celestron SE 8-inch telescope that I received. My mom was alive back then. No, I got it as a Christmas gift. I don't buy myself anything, guys. I'm like I always say, I'm a simple man. But this was a gift, and there's no, I mean, I think as soon as I uploaded it, I had like 4 actual comments, and that it's one thing if you see a cloud that looks like a square or a triangle, but actually when you see a ship, it's definitely a ship, but is it ours? That's for you guys to decide, but it's an amazing catch. Again, it's not like a cloud. Check it out, Darlene. It's an actual ship. It's like the size of an aircraft carrier. I thought I saw a 3%er in here. Again, I don't know what space is. I'm fascinated with it, you know, like being a sky watcher and you know, just looking up there, you know, I think pretty much maybe not all of us did it as a child, but you know, we always wondered, you know, well, not always wondered, you're taught that in school, right? About the planets and this and that. And then I've always been, again, guys, that's just me. I've always been fascinated. Being an outdoors person, if you ever get if you know somebody, or if you ever have the chance to put some nods on and go somewhere where there's zero light pollution, again, put some nods on, go somewhere where there's zero light pollution, and you'll end up with many more questions than answers. I'll tell you that one right there. Again, I don't know what space is. On a serious note, on this channel, do you remember when NASA announced that the moon is in the Earth atmosphere? Like this is huge news, even if it is fake. But by releasing that, they're like, oh yeah, that we had that information for, I think it was like 8 years. Yeah, we just forgot to tell you guys. The moon is in our, again, I'm not saying it's, you know, if anyone has a spaceship, you know, I'll give you my coordinates and please pick me up. But yeah, so I don't give up on space, but I just don't. I know we're being lied to. My opinion only, for legal purposes. Simon King. Simon King, and all of, trust me, we talk about everything on this channel. We really do. And I love it because I love hearing from you guys. From any, you know, from any topic. Like we were just talking about war, now we're talking about the moon. I could tell you this, Simon King. I'm staring at it right now. I think it looks like a full moon. Yeah, it only shows one side, but it does rotate. A lot of people don't know that. It rotates like a clock. It doesn't spin. It does spin, but you get what I'm saying. It doesn't spin so we could see the back of it, but it does rotate. And like everything we were taught, guys, like Simon King, again, I'm staring at a freaking full-size moon right now. When you ask that question and they tell you the sun is 90 million miles away, like I'm not trying to be funny or like corny. Like really think about that. 90 million miles away. We're, you know, we just absorb so much information and we're, oh yeah, 90 million, you know, I know the fact of this, I know the fact of that. But like relax for a second. Like 90 million miles away. Meanwhile, when they are in space, they don't show the moon and they don't show the sun. Guys, that being said, I believe there are 2 shots in the history of NASA that shows the moon. And my opinion only, it's CGI or photoshopped, I mean. And again, whatever your opinion is about that thing, ask Darlene. Ask a police officer, your neighbor, or if you know a cop, or ask a nurse. This is 100% fact. Again, I have no idea what that is. Is it a spaceship? I don't know. Is it a hologram? I don't know. This is a fact. Every full moon, crime rates skyrocket. This is 100% fact. Not, it's not a racial thing. It's not to one certain area. This is a fact. Whenever there's a full moon, it's a friggin' busy ass night. Why is that? I don't have the answers. I'm just telling you what. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And like, how many of you guys, well, you press 1 if you believe in a sun simulator. I mean, not only is there, again, just because there's a patent doesn't mean it's, going to manifest. Not only are there numerous patents on it, but there's actual video evidence of it from Germany. There's, like, if you don't believe in that, like, that's crazy to me. But once I found that out and did research, I'm like, holy shit, now going to the moon. There's a channel, I believe she has one, her husband has one. Again, guys, I don't really have that much time. Like, when I'm not online, I'm researching or helping. Dr. Claudia Alberts. She's a woman who was from South Africa, came here to the United States. She married a gentleman who lives in Pennsylvania, and she worked at a college, again, as a physicist, and she left a good paying job for truth. You know how hard that is. I don't agree with everything she says, obviously. I shouldn't even have to say that anymore, because nobody agrees with 100%. But now there's, again, a hologram. All I had to say, there's something going on, because certain nights I could take a picture of the moon, and it looks like what we all think of the moon. Other times I take a picture of the moon, same weather, no clouds, it's not being obstructed by anything, and it shows up like, again, as a picture, it looks like the sun. Zero definition on it. Meanwhile, a week later, I could take a picture, and again, it looks like the moon that we all know. But certain nights, clear skies, I take a picture, and no detail. So I don't have the answers. I'm just telling you. And why is moonlight colder than the shade? Again, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know. They tell us that thing is glowing right now because of the sun that just went down. But why is the moonlight different than the shade? And these are all facts. But don't ask me why. You know how I say this a lot, because I've noticed a lot of new people jumping in, like, being open-minded, because I don't have the answers. You might say it's a hologram, the next person might say it's a ship. I'm not going to say it's crazy, because I don't know. Where the people who believe the official narrative and the people who are awake, they see people like us as cuckoos. They don't even want to listen to us. Or if they do listen, they make videos degrading people like us. And again, I don't talk negative about any certain name, except if you're a politician. Like, that's the difference about people like us. Like, you're gonna believe something. Like, how do you have proof of that? Because my teacher told me, or because a scientist said it. Okay, good for you. Sam King, well, I had a dream once. It was raining meteors. And that's another thing. Like, again, I love space, but I have more questions now than I did back when I thought I was, you know, I knew, you know, our solar system the way we were taught. Why do quote unquote meteors, the large meteors, only hit like the most remote places on Earth? Like, really, it's always in the Pacific, South Pacific. It's always in the far east of Russia, or the small ones. You know, you would think every single day that we should be seeing things flying through the sky, like rocks, if we are flying through space. And that's another thing, guys. They say again, I don't know. They say we live not on a ball, but we live on the sphere. But any picture that they show, it's a ball. It's a ball. But they say we live on the sphere. Also, we're tilted, right? It's not, we're tilted at 6.66 degrees. And not only that, but but Earth, we're going north. We're going straight up. Again, guys, I'm not looking for answers. I'm just like, this is what they tell us. Like, this is. That's a good one. Bitcoin. No Bitcoin. Darlene says, don't buy Bitcoin. How do you guys feel about gold? You know, certain channels, I mean, a lot of channels, like they have like sponsors. There's numerous companies out there, but they always say, I mean, I know, obviously, gold, gold is gold, no matter where you are in the world. But versus, having cash. But how do you guys feel about the whole gold thing? You don't have to tell me if you have any, obviously, or but what do you guys, what since and recently we were talking about, over the past couple of days, we have been speaking about prepping. Do you guys just want to hear about gold and silver? Darlene says silver, gold too expensive. Miss Q, North Star stationary, well 1% move. Yeah. That's amazing to me. Silver $17. Simon King silver to 28. So you guys are for silver, not gold? SJ Hunter, how are you? Darlene, your pick is the very on it, I think. I haven't seen it in a while, SJ. Hope you're doing good. Old ideas of wealth need to go. Carbon is a chemical element with a symbol C. And again, like, the part that gets me is like, all right, just say you're a physicist, right? And okay, you're really good with math, right? Math is not my thing. But I'm speaking about, like, if I was to ever question Neil deGrasse Tyson, because he was in Philadelphia recently, like on the morning talk show, like anyway, and everything he does is with math. Like, how do you know this? Like, he'll talk about same thing, like as far as gravity, guys. I'm being serious. Like, it's 2019, and yeah, my 2-year-old cousin, or 3-year-old, 4-year-old cousin, not 4, but just say 6-year-old, knows what gravity is, right? But in reality, we really don't know what it is. If you look it up right now, we really don't know what gravity is. Looking at comments. So back to so just because the way our system is now, again, the way we're taught, right? Like, an airplane can't just make a 90-degree turn because it'll kill all the passengers, right? But if you're talking about a zero gravity craft, yes, you can do that. You can do these maneuvers. So pretty much, they act like just because it's not in their Bible, that can't happen. That drives me crazy. Bob, who's the he's a young guy. When I say young, he's probably in his mid 40s. Who's the director of FEMA at this time? I love gravity on my mashed potatoes. No, like, I'm being serious. Like, it sounds like G. Like, gravity, no shit. We know what gravity is because of the apple fell on his head. I'll add one more thing to that. Love him, hate him, not sure, never heard of him. Bob Lazar, who worked at S4. Again, think he's a liar, believe him a little bit, trust him. Again, regardless, this is fact. He was working with a element 115. How do we know that? Because after he exposed it, they had to add it to the periodic table. So that when I say, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just saying hypothetically, or speaking, like, when people think, like, they just accept these answers. We don't even know what's in the friggin' oceans. We don't. New species every day. New species. thought I saw a 3%er in here. And Marcus, same thing. How religion is a cult. I'm not saying believing in. I'm talking about like religion itself. Science in 2019, it's not it's not regular science. The way science is supposed to work is be a critical thinker and counter it, right? If I discover something, just because again 100 years ago a guy said a guy had it this way, that drives me nuts. Darlene says, death in oceans these days. Well, Darlene, Fukushima's been leaking since 2011, right? And they lied to us. It's so, again, the way the winds move, we were all affected. I'm on the East Coast. I was affected by Fukushima within, I think, like day 7. Anything above, again, whatever you think, flat, square, anything above the equator, the way the winds are, like day 7, my area. But they just got hit, I think, last night by the biggest typhoon in the history of Japan. 7 million people evacuated. 7 million. SJW Hunter, Japan is pro-Trump. Roger. It is man-made. What's man-made, King? Oh, the dead clock? Bob says. I just did a video, Bob, on RFID. And again, I understand certain videos like this one, for instance. Last week I did a 2-hour video, and MH17, right? That plane that just vanished. I just recently found out that 4 individuals that were on that airplane were top officials that had to do with aerosol patents. Coincidence, I get. No. Not. What's up, Nige? By the way, the moon is only object not to rotate. And again, I'm open-minded, Nige. I love, I don't know how long you were here, if you were just listening or if you just popped in. I'm fascinated. I have a telescope. I think I got my first telescope in like, I was super young, but I have a Celestron. I have an 8-inch. And again, I know we're jumping topics here, but Nige, he's across the pond from me, and he does great work. He's a sky watcher, and all sky watchers, we don't all believe in the same thing, obviously, but I could tell you this: we just want to know the truth. And again, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth, but this person might say it's that, but just being a Skywatcher and having a channel, you have a great channel, brother. Appreciate your content. Across the pond, amazing. Just want the truth. Nothing but the truth. Take that red pill. Nige, since you're here, brother, what's your... You don't have to say it if you don't want. Just because I understand, But what's your opinion about the moon? Myself, I flip-flopped so many times. Out of all being red-pilled, out of any subject, the moon, just when I thought, it may be this, there's another person who has intel that I never saw before, and then I'm like this with the moon. But again, the only fact that I have from the moon is from when I used to work on the street, and whenever there's a full moon, it does something to us humans, and again, any first responder, firefighter, cop, it's the busiest night when there's a full moon. Nudge. When I look at the moon, I sometimes see a blur, like it's out of focus. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know if sometimes people just listen and not type. I don't know how long you've been in here, but back when I was talking about the moon, I said certain nights I could take a picture of it, and the picture comes out as the moon, right? As what we know what the moon looks like. Other nights, again, same weather conditions. I'm not talking about clouds or nanoparticulates or sub-Saharan dust or whatever you want to call it, atmosphere, whatever. The same type of weather conditions, and then my phone or my camera would show a solid white object, where if I showed you, like if I posted the picture and said, "Sun," actually, believe it or not, you do it. I saw a couple of your videos. You actually did it on your channel. You had the sun and you had the moon, and it was like, is this the sun or the moon? And it's super hard to tell. What's in reality, it should not be that way, but that's how it is. It looks like it's a LED light. Not saying all the time, but you actually did it on your channel. Looking at comments. Driving the road of... Darn, that's a long one. Driving the road of sheep's unknown knowledge. Nige, yes, can't tell. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you did a video. You might have done a couple, but that one video that I watched of yours, it's so funny that you did that, because you really can't tell, and that's pretty weird. Is this the sun or the moon? It's crazy out there, Nige. Great work, brother. And if anyone on this channel, is strictly into being open-minded with Planet X, Wormwood, anything, any sky phenomena, Nige has an awesome channel. Check out his content and sub. And he's a great guy, hard worker, and truth. Much respect, brother. I know, Nige. I I said this. I said this actually probably about 6 months ago that that I wanted to do a live stream with. I would like to do a live stream with somebody, but definitely, I'm definitely down for it. Uh, definitely down for it. Especially pick the top. Pick the topic, and so obviously I'll be prepared, not just going off like I'm sitting in my vehicle right this second, obviously. But I'm all about, I'm all about, all about that nudge. I believe Nige, that camera that you're it may be CCTV footage, Nige, at your work. That's a pretty good camera. What does Jay Hunter say? Nige, I have so much footage, brother. So much footage that of sky phenomena that I have not uploaded. So much. Two locations. I used to work at one I used to work at one location. Uh, it was in the country and zero light pollution. I mean, you couldn't even see a house. Nothing but wood. The Pinelands. And I have so much footage. I would love to do a live stream. That's what I'm here for, guys. I told you guys, I'm here. I want people to come together. You could be somebody just starting out. You could have, you know, there's a couple channels that they don't even have a computer. They just do it from their phone. There's a gentleman. I don't mean to be ignorant by not remembering it. Something Kool-Aid, Blue Kool-Aid, I believe. He's very passionate about his work, and he just has a phone. Just reading the comments, and then I'll log off. My dog's giving me the look. And as well too, like being in different locations, different things. Not like I said, Nige, great channel, great guy, hard worker. He has a great channel and he works full time. And he has a cool dog. But being in different parts of the world, gives us a better chance to see different things. I'll end it with this because Miss Q said V-shaped. There's something going on with obviously, yes, this is real. The TR3B, the It just got released about a year ago. So, but anyway, all of the space agencies, all of them, the European one, all of them, they all, in their logo, they all have a V. And just like how if you look at a lot of military patches, they just say I'm in the military, I have it, and whatever I'm doing, that patch tells a lot, right? So as a civilian, you start looking at military patches, and sometimes you could figure, maybe, you might think you could figure something out just by a military patch. But a lot of these patches with a lot of these ops that they do, it's like a slap to our face. I see a lot of 5 stars in a lot of the aerospace community in these patches. And as far as the heavens go, Orion's belt, again, I'm open-minded. If I was a lot of activity in that part of the heavens. Nige says, triangle everywhere in the sky. Nige, from myself, regardless of any space agency or any other channel, I captured so many triangles. So many triangles. On top of all the Skywatchers out there. But the part that gets me, guys, like that doesn't mean that they just like the logo. Again, I'm in America. You could be China, for instance. China, as far as space goes, everybody's on as far as country-wise, everybody's on the same page. But obviously, the Chinese, they're not allowed on the International Space Station. So China built their own. It's not allegedly up there yet. And it's going to be like twice the size of the current International Space Station. But regardless, even the Chinese, they have a V-shaped in their logo. So again, what's the significance of a V? Is it, obviously it's something of something very important, because it's in every space agency. They all have it. Nice talking to you, or nice seeing you, SJ Hunter. Haven't seen you in a while. Alright guys, appreciate the chat. I was not planning on doing this. I just wanted to show you the moon. And I was driving when the sun was setting. I pulled over, got a couple amazing pictures of the reddest and orangest sky that I've ever seen. I will post them in the community tab, and greatly appreciate the chat. And Nige, I will get in contact with you through email or Miss Kimberly. Sorry about that. Amen, SJ Hunter. The Great Awakening. Again, I'm in America. I'm an American patriot, but I'm a civilian. And it's the great awakening around the world. You're seeing it. Again, from the Hong Kong protesters to France, the yellow vest. I have a yellow vest hanging up on my wall where my computer is. I am for the people. Amen, guys. Have a great night. Be safe out there. Saturday night.
Marcus. The good part about doing random or doing a random live chat, there's some, I like when new people pop in. Thank you. Who's awesome pick? Wake up. Much love, brother. Be safe. Roger that. Thank you for all the hard work. And like I said, guys, you guys know my background. And if you're new, yes, I used to be a popo and as far as Intel, but my passion is sky phenomena. And now that I got injured, I do not receive a pension, and that's the only reason why I ask. I have a PayPal and I have a Patreon. Yesterday, somebody said that that's considered begging, and I said it's not begging because you're allowed to watch every single video without paying a dime. But in return, again, I do not receive a pension, so that's not begging. Again, great night, guys. Be safe out there. Watch your six, and also just keep your eyes on the swivel. Interesting times, guys. Much love. You had to trust the work I used to do. You had to have thick skin, Darlene, and I do. I just trust me. All right, guys. Much love. Thanks.